What's good? Nice to meet you. I'm Drayton. Nice for you to meet me. Disclaimer, this is my first ever YouTube video. Hopefully that declaration wasn't enough to make you yank out your earbuds or immediately exit your app at the prospect of a novice such as myself infiltrating your intimately crafted YouTube algorithm that is probably rife with much more experienced, charismatic, dynamic, knowledgeable creators. Time out. Self-esteem alert. Hopefully you stick around for a while, and I sincerely hope that this video of mine moves you just like Attack on Titan has moved and inspired me and millions of others. This series astonished me when I first watched it. It moved me more than I ever thought it could, given the rugged exterior that this series presents. One of the labels that has become synonymous with Attack on Titan is its darkness of tone, the idiosyncratic, big word, despair of its motifs and visuals have rarely been displayed on this scale in the anime genre before or since its inception. I mean, in the very first episode, you see these helpless children with a questionable head to body ratio, might I add, rife with youthful exuberance, conviction, and intelligence have their world unceremoniously stripped from them in a bat of an eye. I mean, literally, our protagonist, Eren, who has been introduced as what one can only describe as someone who wears his heart on his sleeve, has his mother eaten by a damn Titan right before his very eyes. So I would assume that a few of you who are watching this video may have never consumed Attack on Titan media in any form, and you might be asking, what is my emotional incentive for watching this edgelord, vice-ridden excuse for one artist's twisted urge to give light to his self-fulfilling, dark, twisted fantasy? Well, that, my friend, is because Attack on Titan is rife with hope, filled with humanity, compassion, care, and is characterized and propelled by the little glimmers of humanity and promise of a better world being right on the horizon. Attack on Titan, contrary to its reputation and its unapologetic and unyielding methodology, is at its core a show about hope, and a show that attempts to shed light on our capacity for love, perseverance, and the collective hope for posterity. Today, I will be covering why I fell in love with the marvelous, remarkable, the modern literary masterpiece that is Shingeki no Kyojin, otherwise known as Attack on Titan.
If I lose it all, slip and fall, will you laugh at me? If I lose it all, if I lose it all, slip and fall, I'll never look away. If I lose it all, if I lose it all, outside the wall, to die another day. I don't want anything, I just you take.
So, what makes this show great? Is it the enthralling narrative? Yes. Is it the compelling characters and how each one uniquely inspects and reacts to the world around them? Yes. Is it the overarching mystery of the walls and the titans and the legacy of the milieu and the dystopia around them? Also, yes. All of these things are true, and there have been a plethora of other videos crafted by more talented creators than I that have went in detail on the narrative graces of this work and why it is so engrossing, which I'll be placing the links to below. Today, however, I will focus on a few themes of the series, hope specifically, and why I believe that this will be the prevailing message that will prove to stand the test of time in the collective conscious when we assess this work.
And determined to become one of them, the Scouts?
We are thrust into Paradis, where our characters endure an unjust world in which they live under a state of constant, perpetual fear and hysteria due to the impending, all-encompassing threat of Titans. Titans in which they largely do not understand, and the physiology of whom they know very little. We see the social structures and systems within the literal and metaphorical walls of the Eldian Empire play out, and we as an audience immediately latch onto the clear parallels drawn to our own world. These people are relegated to walls in which the sea, lava, and other wonders of nature are nothing more than obscure legends of folktale that are generally disregarded as nothing more than tales of drunken hysterics. These people are thrown headfirst into the unyielding fire that is the Titan's rage and are expected to fight with exuberance, with courage, because to fight is to fight for the sake of posterity, for the sake of the future of a world they know remarkably little about. Where is the hope in this? This sounds like a tale of unending despair and the bleak world that has been painted for the audience, all but ensures that this is our takeaway at face value. However, Hajime Isayama, the master, the madman, manages to craft characters and a narrative that opposes the confines of this world. He manages to make us feel amidst the helplessness of their circumstances, airs triumphant yells of rage from his newly assumed position as a Titan. Spoilers if you haven't watched. Sasha's fearlessness in the face of adversity and unspeakable fear, Captain Irvin galvanizing a group of demoralized troops, combating with their mortality in a fashion that would make even the most ambivalent, apprehensive, terrified of us want to charge headfirst through a brick wall.
They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen. Their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them! And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
This is a world where a belligerent youth blinded by the indoctrination of her homeland can blossom into a complex individual that is intimately aware of the harmful nature of this pedagogy. And as the mystery of this world unravels and you as the viewer are floored by the magnitude of these paradigm-shifting revelations as our characters are, the world beyond their rigid and uncompromising walls expands, and it is boundless. The analogies that are presented here in the Marleyan world, in which refugees of the Eldian Empire live as second-class citizens, relegated to internment zones and subjected to officials and citizens alike who uphold this caste system with an iron fist, can be easily linked to that of the Third Reich and the atrocities committed towards Jews by the destructive ideologies of Nazism, as well as the racial and religious genocide that historically marginalized populations have experienced throughout history. Where is the hope in this? As jarring and angst-inducing as this is, we see the fight among the second class, the oppressed and the persecuted. We see the legacy of a small coalition of brave souls that dared to challenge the status quo. In the final season, we see what once was a boy with an insatiable hunger to realize a new world and thriving humanity be inundated and radicalized by the darkness and trauma of his upbringing. Where is the hope in this? Well, we also witness a group that have been inflicted by those same horrors fight to preserve humanity, preserve the livelihood of those that have oppressed and persecuted them in the name of obscure historical narratives. There is hope. There is humanity.
Before I shoot, who are you?
My name is Keith Shadis. What's yours?
Theo McGath.
As I have largely consumed this story through the anime, I would feel remiss to turn to the source material just to see the long-awaited end of this incredible story. I have seen the mixed reviews, I have seen the outrage, but I've also seen the emotional resonance, the cathartic responses at the end of this story. I hope that I experience more of the latter. I hope that this story never yields in illustrating what I believe to be the core tenet behind all of its dystopic, reality-driven commentary, themes, and fantastical horrors. Hope. Attack on Titan could only be imagined by someone inspired by the human existential struggle that we all are intimately acquainted with. Attack on Titan has something to say, a lot to say, and for the last decade it has been profound and eloquent in its approach, its prose.
Sasha, pass some gas, Commandant.
Why am I not surprised?
I have been going through it. It's been hard. I'm hurting, and I am certain that many of you can relate to that pain. I have turned to this show in this time to remind me of the catharsis that is just beyond the horizon of heartache, of struggle. Ultimately, above all else, I hope this video reaches those who are still apprehensive, still uncertain about giving what I believe to be one of the best works of fiction to ever grace our senses a chance. No matter if you're a hardcore anime fan or a member of the general audience, I firmly, genuinely believe that this series will tug and pull at your heartstrings. So while I am in the dark on its ending, I just hope that it reinforces and encapsulates what even the most distressed of us, those mired by the curveballs of life, know to be true. That hope is pervasive. And it is accessed through our capacity for perseverance, our capacity for love, and our belief in the collective future. Attack on Titan believes, so therefore we must believe that the sea is right in our reach.
Hey, if we did cross the sea and we killed our enemies, after that, would we finally be free?